Look here, baby. You're hitting them corners fast. You need to slow this down. You understand? I almost spilled my yak on this $200 suit.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in today. I am excited to get started. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. But before we do that, if you are new, I do hope you consider doing yourself a favor. Doing me a favor, but mainly doing you a favor. And hitting that subscribe button and also hitting that notification so every single time I post you'll be notified, which is every Wednesday.
And every Friday.
Let's get into it. So this video is a part of a series on my channel that I started a while back that I might have low-key forgot about. It's called Isn't That Ironic? That series centers around me talking about things that for one reason or another are ironic for me to talk about. It's been a minute, but I remember at least two that I've done. I've done one about skincare, because she got a little bit texture here, it's fine. And I've done one about okay, so I only remember one, but it's fine. You get the gist of it. It's things that are ironic for me to talk about. Today's topic isn't so much ironic, but it is a little bit of a think piece.
So maybe call the series, Isn't That a Think Piece, then, Ms. Girl.
So first, I'm not gonna lie. I've tried to make this video a few different times, and each time I've done it, I'm always like saying something and then taking it back, and that just ends up taking up so much time in the footage, right? And, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm nervous to make this video because I don't want to say the wrong thing or blah, blah, blah. Here's my thing. I'm gonna say this right now, right? One, I am secure in my thoughts and opinions to know that I don't say things that are gonna offend. Well, see, I'm doing it right now. Personally, I don't think I say things that are gonna offend people. I speak from a very genuine place. I would never speak on something that I'm not like directly affected by or something I don't directly experience. So with that being said, my experiences or what I say based on my experiences are valid for that reason. So I feel like that's the one thing, is that I end up second guessing myself a lot. And I want to be able to express what I experience on my channel. I feel like I was going to say something else, but that was mainly the main reason I didn't want to do it. Is because I felt like I was like second guessing myself a lot, and I just really didn't have my points together. But today is the day. I missed the beat. What I want to talk about today is being plus size and how social media has dealt with that. So
It took you a whole last 2 minutes to introduce your topic, sheesh.
Let's get into it, right? So this video is going to center around basically these next few statements I'm about to make. When it comes to being a plus size woman online, here's two statements that are true in my opinion, but also I just think these are true across the board and you can't change my mind about it. If you're a plus size woman, the internet really only hypes you up and accepts you if you are still like curvy and still have these sexually attractive traits. So you can be a plus size person, but you know, you still have to have like these identifiable curves. You have to have like a nice kind of perky, not perky, but like you have to have a nice chest. You still have to be like thick in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like you're only really accepted if you are still found attractive, if your body still looks attractive, right? The second thing, while it is a truth that no matter what your body looks like, you are still gonna have issues for it. Just because you have days where you feel fat, it doesn't mean that you should necessarily try and like take over the body positive movement. I understand that someone who's maybe like 160 and works out every day, they might not have days where they think that they look the best. The body positive movement was made for people who not only have to deal with body insecurities internally, but also have to deal with them when they go outside, when they have to face other people. I'm not negating that everyone's gonna have times where they don't feel their best, but there are plus size people who not only have to deal with the fact that they might not like the way they look, but also have to deal with the fact that when they go outside, everyone else doesn't like the way they look. And that's just not the same across the board for everyone. Everyone can have their own body positivity, but you have to understand that not everyone is going to face the same criticisms when they step outside the house. Does that make sense? So those are my first two statements. If you disagree, I just want you to hear me out. Just hear me out first before y'all get to type in the comments. Just give me a second. I mean, so there's a lot of plus size celebrities. Mainly when I was thinking about this video and like what I was going to say and everything, I was mainly thinking of someone like Ashley Graham. Now, Ashley Graham has been pretty well known for like being a plus size model, and this is not to take away from anything that she's ever done. I'm not trying to offend anybody, you know, like I'm really not. But when it comes down to it, I mean, she's just not as big as like most plus size people. She is a bigger girl. I'm not saying she's not big. And she still has, like I talked about earlier, still has like that hourglass shape, and she still has a lot of body parts and like body areas that are still very palatable, can still be classified as attractive by the general public. But I just feel like people think like, oh yeah, there are plus size people in the media, so everything's all good and all plus size people should feel great about themselves. But it's like, no, we still don't, because there's still so much negative conversation and discourse around being a bigger person. And I also think it's important to mention that these are celebrities, these are people with money, so when they're photographed and whatnot, you know, they're having their photos retouched and everything, and they're always paying to look the best. They probably have a lot of their clothes custom made, and when clothes are custom made to fit you, the designer, whoever is like doing that, they're gonna make sure that it makes you look the absolute best. Whereas though, you know, regular people, we have to buy something and just rely on the fact that, like, hopefully it's, no, well, not hopefully, but rely on the fact that it's the right size and everything and that it looks nice. I'm gonna use an example to better explain my second point, right? I'm gonna use two examples. One's gonna be it's a real life example, and I'm gonna use a made up example to show you how goofy it is, right? So the first one I wanna say, let's talk about the natural hair movement, right? Natural hair, mainly for Black women, has been an issue because whenever we want to embrace our natural hair, there comes a problem of people saying you look unkept, you look, you know, it looks nappy, it looks naughty or whatever. And then especially in the workplace, when you want to wear your natural hair out, then it's like, oh, it's not professional enough, right? Then there became this whole thing of like the natural hair movement, which is empowering Black women to be able to wear their natural hair out. That movement was meant for, and I know that hair types in the natural hair community don't really, you know, those are a very shaky thing, but that movement was made for people who have very tight, coily hair that maybe doesn't, I can't describe it, I'm just gonna put in pictures. It was meant for hair that maybe looks like this. And not so much for hair that looks like this on a regular basis, right? And here's the thing, is that the natural hair movement has been saturated. It has just been overtaken by people who just really aren't getting it. So you can be happy about your curly hair, right? Because I think now the hair market, there's been a lot more hair products that are catered towards natural hair and that are really focused on helping us maintain our natural hair and keep it healthy, right? That's the main thing, is keeping it healthy and making it so that you can style it and you can be happy with it in whatever state you want to wear it in, whether you want to wear it out, whether you want to put it in a style, like, you know, like it back a little bit. If you want to put it in braids, you know, get a wig. There are products that help you take care of your hair that weren't there before. The issue is that now you have people who have super loose curls trying to join the conversation of, oh my God, yeah, my natural hair is so, and it's like, it's just not, like, understanding that you can identify with some of the problems in the community, but that the movement is not for you, is something that plagues every type of movement that people create. And I don't really think people understand how detrimental it is. So that's like the real world example. Let me give you all a little made up example so y'all can really see how goofy it is, right? Let's say there's a committee of people, right? And it is the committee of people who have trouble baking pies, right? You know, they're up here talking, they're like, man, sometimes the pie crust melts before we get to put it in the oven. Sometimes the filling isn't giving what it's supposed to be giving. X, Y, and Z. They just list a bunch of things. And I see that meeting, I'm like, oh, they must all bake. Well, I bake cakes, right? I'm a cake maker. But I feel like I can kind of get in there, because you know what? We might not have the exact same issues, but I can relate to them. So I'm gonna go up there. And you know, I'm walking in a meeting and they're talking about their pie issues, and I'm like, but my cake, can we talk about my cake problems? I'm having issues with my cakes, you guys. And then they're looking at me like, okay, but like, there's a meeting for pies. And I'm like, oh no, yeah, I get that. But back to my cake. So now I have taken over their meeting to talk about my issue that really doesn't have anything to do with them. Understanding that I can deal with my own stuff. There are probably other people who deal with the same issues as me, but this is not the time or the place for me to talk about those issues. It's about the pie people, not about the cake people right now. That's what my whole second point is about, is that you have people that have taken over the body positive movement and made it so that not only is it only about them now, but it's about, you know, you're now talking over people who the movement was meant for. Let me give y'all some examples, some real life examples. You about to be real mad at me, but it has to be said. There's a TikToker named Sienna Gomez. Now, she got popular on TikTok during the time that I took my time away from it. So I really didn't know of her rise like that. I just know that when I got back on the app, she was someone that was like, always saw her on my For You page and everything, and people, you know, were obsessed with her. I guess she kind of rose to the top because like she kind of does this body positive thing. When I first got back on the app, I always saw like videos that were stitched of her and people saying things like, just a lot of comments about her body, whatever. I am gonna say this, and it might be controversial, but it is my truth and I'm gonna say it. Understanding that she probably does, you know, have days where she doesn't feel the best about her body. I do not like that she has been put in the forefront of the body positive movement on TikTok. And that's just how I feel. I understand that she probably does have issues, or she probably does have days where she's like, I hate my body, X, Y, and Z. I understand that. I don't wish on anyone. And I do hope that she can get to a place where she does feel really great about her body and that she has days like that less often. However, it's not fair for me and other people who look like me to have to look at her and be like, oh, yep, she's the head of the body positive movement, and that's totally okay with me, even though I'm not built like her, even though I look nothing like her, and my body's still not being accepted. She can be the forefront of it. To me, it's just like, I get it. I get it, but it's just not fair. She is a cake person coming into a pie community, and she's talking about her problems with pie, or she's talking about her problems with cakes. And while I get it, I understand your problems, just not here. It's just not fair. And there's no hate to her. And I'm so sure she'll never see this video, but if she does see it,
Sienna girl, hey.
I'm not trying to say she should never feel bad about her body, but the fact of the matter is that in this movement, in this body positive movement, her issues are not the same as my issues, and the thing is that her issues are being placed over mine.
I'm using mine as a metaphor to stand for all plus size people, not just myself.
Her issues are being placed over people who don't look like her. That's just that. I'm not gonna keep explaining because I just feel like I'm talking myself in circles, but that's how I feel about that. Another thing I want to bring up, and since we're talking about social media, I spend a lot of my time on Twitter. And here's the thing. I love Twitter. I think Twitter is hilarious. It's great. It's all this stuff. But at the end of the day, Twitter discourse is trash. Like a while ago, and this was around the second time I tried to make this video, which was a sign to me that I should make this video. I started seeing all these tweets about like,
oh, what do you mean men don't like plus size women?
Here's the first thing, is that no one has. I am so sick. I am so sick of just these random tweets popping up about like, men like this, men like it's 2021. Obviously, you know, you want to do things that make you attractive, but you should not be doing things that are attractive to men. You see, like, do you understand what I'm saying? I do my makeup to make me look attractive, but I'm not doing my makeup to attract a man. Point blank period. I do my makeup for myself so that I find myself attractive. So anyway, there's a conversation about if men find plus size women attractive. And why that was annoying is, one, the fat phobia was rampant on Twitter. Like, it was disgusting. I saw people who I know personally tweet some very fat phobic things. It is maddening to have to deal with it. To have to sit there and just hear people talk about like I remember seeing this tweet. If I can find, I probably won't be able to find it, but it was like, yeah, I like plus size girls, but I'm sorry if I don't like plus size women who look sloppy. That's just my preference. Again, it's 2021. If you cannot state what you're attracted to without putting down other people,
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
What is like? Why? Why are you that way? Like, why do people still do that? Even more so, I remember when Adele, when she first started losing weight, right? So she posted a picture and she lost weight. The obsession with her weight loss was so disgusting. Like, it was so weird. People were gassing it up. It was so uncomfortable to me to see how obsessed with her weight loss people were. Like, it made me genuinely uncomfortable because, one, I never even thought of Adele as that big. She was just, her weight never even factored into who she was for me. Like, I just knew Adele as this person who made amazing, powerful ballads. Like, she was just that bitch for me. It never even factored into me, like, her weight. But then the second she posted this picture, she had lost a bunch of it. That was, like, all anyone could talk about. Like, it was weird to me. It was weird that everyone had this fixation on her body all of a sudden. Like obviously I know she posted those pictures were put out there to be like, oh my god, you know, look, I lost all this weight. But then people were talking about her weight loss for like weeks on end, and it was like, have you never seen somebody lose weight before? What is wrong with y'all? Like, it was so strange. Here are my closing thoughts on everything I've talked about. Everybody is going to have body issues. I don't care if you are 160 and you're built like an hourglass, or you're 300 and you are straight built. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, or even if you said, you know, big middle fingers to the whole binary gender system. Everyone is going to have issues with their body, and I understand that, and I wish you the best in your journey in body acceptance. However, the reality of life is that while we all face these internal issues with our body, there are some of us who have to face those issues when we step outside of the house. So, you know, it's people like, you know, we face criticism on the way we're, if we're not curvy enough, if we have, bingo wings, you know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, you thought this was going to be a video where I talked straight through and didn't have to add in myself afterwards because I just wanted to make sure I was making sense? No. I wanted to also add in that I recognize that, like, I'm also not the biggest person in the plus size community, and I'm more so speaking on the fact that, like, I'm a bigger person who doesn't have these sexually attractive features. And I kept saying body parts in the video. I'm so sorry because that sounds so weird. I'm one of the plus size people that, like, doesn't have these super sexually attractive features, and I'm not, like, filling out like that and all that stuff. So that's what I was more speaking on, because I'm not going to sit up here and try to pretend that I understand what it feels like to be, 250, 300, 400. I'm not going to sit here and say that I understand that, because then that would make me a hypocrite. But I just wanted to add that part in here because I didn't know if that was understood earlier. There are some of us who have to deal with the criticisms when we step outside of our house from people we don't even know. Some people who face body issues will never know what it's like to have people staring at you while you eat and be like, should you be eating that? Some of us will never experience what it's like to make a random joke on the internet and then randomly have someone tell you should go to the gym. Some of us will never experience what it's like to go into a store and, try and look at clothes and have people look at you the weird way because it's like, are you sure you should be shopping in this section? I'm not trying to sit up here and negate anybody's body issues, but let's be real and understand that not all of us are going to face the same issues. And my third point, I actually want to bring up based on a conversation I had with a friend where she talked about she was leaning more towards body acceptance versus body positivity. I feel like body positivity, it negates the days where you don't feel your best and it makes you feel bad about not feeling good about yourself. I don't think that's fair. It's almost like not allowing yourself to be realistic about how you feel, right? So body acceptance is understanding, like, I have these things that are good about me and I have these things that some days I just don't like the most. But I am learning to accept all of that and be a better person. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to me in the comments, man. I would love to know what you guys think about what I talked about. I'm gonna be honest here. Any ridiculous wow comments, they're gonna get deleted. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, because this is supposed to be a safe space for people to talk, and you have your right to an opinion. But if it irritates me, I'm gonna delete it. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. I'm sorry. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. Where's the camera? Talk nice to yourself before you talk nice to anybody else. And I will see you all very, very soon. That was so annoying. I'm so sorry. Peace.